Hey, welcome to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your host here at Don't Run with Scissors. Your favorite, well, hopefully your favorite, Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins and three crazy rescue dogs who likes to craft in her spare time, is training for Ironman and gone back to school to be an interpreter. Um, Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the like button. It sends me a message, it boosts my self-esteem, and we all need that right now. If you are returning, welcome back. I really do appreciate you guys probably more than you realize. Um, as you know, I posted the last video that wasn't really a floss tube video. Um, we're still, as a community, reeling from everything. The first of the funerals were today. Um, it is just, yeah. It, I don't really have words. I think if you're looking for my reaction on what's been going on, and my feelings are still the same from the other video. So go ahead and watch the last one, because I don't really want to rehash it and cry. I still don't have answers. I still don't have anything. Clay and I are working together on a pattern that we will do both, I think, cross stitch and embroidery. Um, and I will take donations for that, and that I think I would feel better. um I don't know, I always feel bad asking for donations, but if I can give you something in return, because I still would like to cover the cost of my friend's son's laptop. The other thing is that our sign club at school, we are going to be selling t-shirts. They will have the finger spelling for ASL for Oxford Strong, which is kind of the saying that that's on all the businesses and everything. So we are selling those, and I am making those on my Cricut. So if you are interested in, obviously you would also have to pay shipping. I believe we set the price at $18 a t-shirt. So go ahead and you can pop me a message however you normally communicate with me. Some of you have my actual, have my work email. Some of you talk to me on Instagram. I'm his Princess Kelly. That's probably either one of those. If you're looking for my email, it's Kelly, Kelly, at kgreenlaw.com. That is my work email. So, it's secure. And we can figure that out as far as sizing and colors that you want. Because while Oxford's colors are blue and gold, very similar to U of M, I understand that not everybody wants to wear those colors. So, likewise, if you would rather have a shirt that doesn't say, that you want to still buy a shirt that's that, I will still take the money and put it towards either the laptop, or if we've already covered the cost of the laptop, I will just donate it to the fund that is the funds that have been set up for helping all of those families affected by this, which means all of those kids' schools. One of the big pushes right now is to buy everybody a new backpack that is clear. So going forward, both Lake Orion and Oxford are talking about doing all clear backpacks. That's not something that some families are able to just go out and buy and afford, not having planned for that. So I think there's a big push in the community to supply those. So that may be someplace. So if you would like a t-shirt that maybe says, either "Be Kind" spelled out in ASL, I am obviously very passionate about learning ASL and making sure that we're using ASL and making it a very visible thing via t-shirts or practicing words in public, so that it's normalized, so that we have little people who are born deaf or are hard of hearing who need to know that it's okay, that it's normal to sign. um and that's something I feel passionate about. But obviously, if you would rather have a shirt that doesn't have ASL on it, and you'd still like to have a t-shirt that says something, talk to me. I have a Cricut. I have vinyl. We'll get you what you want on your t-shirt. within reason, because there's some things that politically or like viewpoint I'm not going to support. So, but we all know where I lean on things. So there's that. You know, I think that you only have to watch one or two of my videos to understand where my political leaning, like where my leanings on issues are. Okay, so that said, let me know. Again, his Princess Kelly. The other thing that I messed up last week when I did my floss tube, because I teach you guys, I try to teach you a new sign every week. And last week I messed up and I did cockroach, which is the sign for cockroach. But what I should have done is taught you guys Happy Hanukkah. It was the first day of Hanukkah. I'm an idiot. Okay, so here we go. Happy. You're going to take your hand. Happy Hanukkah. You do your little fours and you literally do the menorah. So, Happy Hanukkah. And I thought that was really cool. So, Hanukkah. It's a great sign. So, Happy Hanukkah. And tonight, last night, I think, was the last night of Hanukkah. So, I apologize for being late. I'm sorry. Sorry. But Happy Hanukkah. I don't remember offhand the sign for Christmas. We'll get there. I will teach you guys a sign for Christmas before Christmas. And I will also teach you how to Kwanzaa, however, while we're all in the same holiday kind of season, Kwanzaa you finger spell. So I will teach you Kwanzaa, closer to Kwanzaa. We'll learn how to finger spell Kwanzaa. So we have found out that Nigel is a butthead. Okay, let me preface this by saying I am not going to abandon a dog because a dog has issues. I rescue and adopt rescues knowing that I don't necessarily know all of their past and reasons why they may have been surrendered or rescued. And so I understand that my dogs are going to come with issues. Okay, so that said, I'm also been very, very lucky that the issues, Lizzie is very people phobia, especially of men and people in hoodies or with masks. I mean, she loses her shit. Like the hair will stand up on her, and she's a big girl. And she's got a big bark, as y'all know. So I understand that. And we worked with her. When we first got her, she couldn't be around kids. She's now safe around kids. She gets a little excited. You have to calm her down. But she eats very gently. When we first got her, she wouldn't eat. You would not be able to feed her out of your hands. Now she eats so gently. It's crazy. You know, when we got Maisie had some issues. Maisie still has a few issues. She's a little neurotic. But I love my girl. I love my girls. So we knew when we got Nigel, I got Nigel from the county shelter. He had been a stray. I knew we were going to have some issues. So little Nigel, he runs around this house like ricocheting off the walls and the furniture and off my back, which really is not helpful, even though he only weighs like 8. He might be up to 10 pounds now. He's not much more than 10. He can't be more than 10 pounds. He's itty bitty. But he ricochets off of everything, and he's so funny because he thinks he's big like Lizzie, which is a little dog trait. So he tries to eat Lizzie's toys, like she's got the big Kong, and we had gotten Maisie a little one. So the other day I look over and Nigel's got the big Kong, that's like Lizzie size, and Lizzie's got a little Kong. But anyways, Nigel is a chewer. Yeah. This is my chair quilt. I love my chair quilt. It's quite old. Yeah. I can fix it. I will fix it. It's just a matter of time. Which we all know I have so much time. Okay. but Nigel is a chewer. So that is our issue we're having to work with. I feel like if he didn't have the little bit of gray around his mouth, that he is still very puppy. But he's cute and he's a keeper and he's not going anywhere. We will work through these issues just like we work through every other issue with every other person in this house. There is not a person in this house that doesn't have a shit ton of issues. None of us. So, okay. So, we are coming up on finals, which I'm grateful. I know that sounds horrible, but I really am. This has been a really long, and it's through no fault of school. But with everything going on and the added extra issues of you throw COVID in there, so some days we're in class, some days we get the last minute, hey, COVID numbers are too high, we can't. The guy who sits next to me and across from me on Wednesday, so I'm in class with him 3 nights a week, came down with COVID, which was why the other week I had to go in and get retested. I didn't know it was him until we went back to class last week. So like, the last thing I need to do is catch COVID. Like, seriously. So, Thanksgiving week off was really nice. I still did a bunch of homework, which I'm very grateful that I went ahead and worked ahead. We've been, I've really been trying to be very diligent on things. So yeah. So, I have been participating. So a couple things we'll talk about. Let me lay them out. First of all, I can show you. Maybe I can show you my haul. Yes, I can show you my haul. This is my haul. It is the hand dyed from Lady Dot Creates. I want to say I got something else from her, but I honestly right now I don't remember what I bought from her. Oh, I got my philanthropic pumpkin from her. So this is my second purchase ever from Lady Dot Creates, and it is the Rick Rack for the cookie exchange, which I had bought the fabric, and I kitted all my DMCs up, and now I have the Rick Rack. I want to get the little cookie board, but they keep getting sold out, and so I have not been able to procure one. But given the fact that I haven't even started my cookie thing, I'm not worried about when I get it. And what I may honestly do, my aunt, who is the nun, I love my aunt. She cracks me up. Sister Mary Black and Decker is what we call her. And we actually, years ago, wrote to Black and Decker about her because she used to teach woodshop to mentally and physically disabled adults at the convent. And so they would all work out, and she makes beautiful stuff. And I have several of her things that she's built. I have the last little table and chair set with the matching little kid's hutch that she's made. And I have several other things. So I think once I have it stitched and I know how big the board should be, I probably could just kind of draw out what I want and have my aunt make it, which honestly I may just do. I sent her the little gnome pillow that I had made. I didn't bother to make a second one. I just sent her that one. So yeah, so I have not started on that. What I have been doing though is, okay, so what we're going to do is first I'm going to show you the couple things that I stitched on. There's really only two. One of them's a finish. And if you've been following me on, hang on one second. So I've been doing wipsbegone2021 on Instagram with the Devoted Quilter, and we just finished the third quarter, and we're starting the last quarter. So it's a total of 100 days before the end of the year that we're all pushing to get whips done. So one of mine that I had listed since the first quarter was to finish 99 for Jason. And Jason knows it's his, and we've like talked about the board to finish it and everything. Um, I can't find exactly what I want at this point, which really makes me sad because I really wanted it to be a certain way. But um, I found what a board that he likes. But then I'm thinking if I cut it, the edges are going to be rough, and I don't know how to, like, I'm going to have to figure out how to trim them out. I don't know. But I did finish 99. How cute is that? That needs to be my screen grab, YouTube. They are so cute and detailed. Like really and truly, they look like the labels. Like it is crazy. So I cannot wait. The general consensus is that using a very dark stout should dye my fabric, which will be super super cool. Um, the other one that I worked that has been listed on my list has been the Gingerbread House, but that was because I needed the ornament finished. If you watched the last video, you know that well, first of all, you'll know that I switched, you know that from the last two videos ago, I guess. I finished the Christmas pineapple. I had substituted that for the gingerbread house. The gingerbread house was just taking way too long, and what I figured it out is it's because I use such it's a fiddler's class, so I think that's like a 20 count Ada. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It's definitely smaller than an 18 count, so it is super super small, and I was having trouble with seeing the holes. So I switched it out from the Christmas pineapple. I finished that. I finished it in a hoop. And my gift is going out to my secret person, my secret squirrel for my sorority. That package is, I have to pick up something from Michigan. I don't know what I'm going to send quite yet. I will find something fun to send, reminiscent of Michigan. I don't know. Maybe I'll find like a little car ornament. I don't know. I have a squirrel ornament because you have to send a squirrel because that's our sorority mascot. Um, and then something that's from your home state, and then a note card, like a little, excuse me, a note. So I have that just about ready to go out. Um, so I'm kind of back on track. So the other thing that's been on my whips be gone list has been Pikachu. So now that 99 is finished, I have no excuse not to work on Pikachu. I mean, I do because God knows I could like. Okay, let's be honest. If you want to find an excuse not to do something, you can find an excuse not to do anything. But I have been trying very hard to finish Pikachu. And what I figured out in some ways, what's been frustrating to me is like I have a big chunk that's like 99% done, but there's a bunch of like little holes here and there. And I finally just decided between yesterday and today that I'm going to go through those bigger sections and just kind of 100% finish. Like I'm going to do the confetti and everything, and then I'm going to be done. Like, because then I'm down to like not much left on this thing, but I think it was frustrating me, and I feel like there's a whole lot more because there's a bunch of those little holes. So I have been working diligently those last couple days now on Pikachu, and this is where we're at. This is a stamped cross stitch by I have no idea. It's one of those kits. If you want me to look for, I know I did look on a while back for who made it, and I posted it on my Instagram. So if you want to know the information about who the maker is of this pattern, let me know and I'll go look it up for you. But we're super like, so all of this from to basically here down to about here, and then I start back in down here. Like all of this is just like little spots that isn't done. So it made me feel like there was a whole lot more that needed to be done. And holy cow, Pikachu is really looking cute in this. Because when you're up close and you stitch on it, you're like, he doesn't really look like Pikachu. Now that I'm looking at it on here, it does look like Pikachu, and it's darn cute, isn't it? So cute. So this is my big push now for my Whips Be Gone. This, and I have a little that little sampler to put together for the other person. So I'm going to work on that this coming week as well. And that's all of my stitching. So what am I doing for next year? And you're like, next year, Kelly? Seriously? Like, why are we thinking about that? And that is because it is time to put together your wipgo board. And I have really, even though I kind of fell off the rails about wipgo, um, this year was my first year doing wipgo, and not really knowing how to set appropriate goals, or I set a lot of really, really big goals, and then like I changed them per like some of my goals. Like I had, okay, do 2 out of the 9, I think there was 9 sections in 3 small words. As you all know, first of all, I completely changed all of the colors, all of the little motifs, and the only thing I really kept from 3 small words were the words and the fonts that the words were in. Sorry, it's getting warm in my house, and well, we all need a little bit of awareness about MMIW, missing and murdered into MMIW. I always want to stick an A in there. I don't know why. So like I did that. I also had finished 1 row of 99. I finished 99. But then there were other things on there that I didn't touch. I mean, but overall, in reviewing the year, and the year's not over, I'm totally thrilled with all of my work, like progress that I made on projects. Do I wish on certain projects I would have even touched them? Yes. Like one that I didn't touch that I want to work on so badly is Van Gogh Jeep. I didn't touch that at all this last year. Like, and that makes me sad because I think that's, first of all, it's a piece for me, which we all know I don't do a whole lot for me. But I've made some really, really cool progress on things. That said, going forward for next year, what I have done is each goal. What is my, hang on, Nigel's chewing. Nigel, listen, crackhead. Where they found, Nigel has found a piece of a McDonald's plastic cup, like from like a iced coffee. I can't even tell you. This is probably for my son's room because my son's room is a pigsty. Um, but I can't tell you the last time I bought an iced coffee from McDonald's for him to even have found that. And it's not a matter of the dog doesn't have toys. I have dog toys everywhere. It's like having a toddler again. Like literally, I look over at my bike, and right now on the floor are 4 tennis balls over that way, within 3 feet of me. I turn to the couch, and he has got, I'm not kidding, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 toys sitting there on the couch next to him. Next to him. Dog. So, okay. So what I did on my wipgo board for next year is I picked 24 stitch projects, and I listed each one of them I would work on for 10 days, which is totally achievable because most months, with the exception of February, have at least 30 days. So that would still leave me 10 days to kind of do whatever I want. So I picked, for the most part, cells from this year that I didn't finish. Don't judge me. But I also put on there the But First Coffee sampler. Van Gogh Jeep went on there. Monopoly went on there. The periodic table. My Lady of the Flag. Although again, I know that I did not realize when I bought it that I have a pirated copy. So I am still on the hunt to find a reasonably priced Lady of the Flag pattern to purchase. Or if you know somebody who would be willing to loan it to me, if I was loaned that pattern, I would monogamously stitch it until I was done so that I could quickly return it. In all fairness. And if somebody loaned it to me, I would also include treasure, like presents on the return flight. So yeah, so I included for the most part on here, um, again, our sales from this year that I'm enjoying my membership in them. I do sales that last like years, apparently. I don't. What happens is if I make a mistake or if I get frustrated and I don't like something, I set it aside and then the ADD kicks in and I don't go back. So hopefully in this next year, we'll have some really, really good progress on some things. There are, so on my free block, I put to knit the other sock to the first sock that I knitted, but I didn't finish the second sock. So hopefully this year we'll have a pair of socks. They go pretty fast once you're sort of, there is nothing like watching an 8-pound dog try to wrestle with a 100-pound dog. It is, yeah, I have no words. The 8-pound dog also can fit an entire tennis ball in his mouth, but my 20-pound dog can't. It is the funniest thing. Oh, and we think we figured out Maisie may actually be Dachshund and Corgi, which makes her a Dorgie, which just cracks everybody I know up. So I think I have a Dorgie, a Cane Corso, a Dorgie, and perhaps a Chiweenie. Leave it to me. So, however, what I'm thinking that I may do, instead of having the new starts that are on here, I may take those off and change them to work 10 days on my oldest WIP, on the WIP that I hate the most, which I know that sounds horrible, but like there's some that just don't, like, you know, you want them done, but you don't enjoy necessarily working on them. It's the oldest WIP, because right now I have, let's see, 1, 2, I have 3 new starts on here. So what I may do is take those 3 new starts off, which ironically they're all 3 Quakers. And I may switch it out to oldest WIP, least favorite WIP, and the WIP closest to being done is what I may switch those out for, is really and truly what I'm thinking. And that, I think, I'm 99% sure actually that's what I'm going to do. The other thing that the group No New Starts in 2022 is doing is they have where you can pick 22 focus pieces. That doesn't mean you can't start something new. That means that your goal is to focus and finish or get as far progress on those 22 that you're picking. And when you finish one, you can add a new one into your rotation. So I'm going to use my wipgo board as also my focus of 20, my focus 22 pieces, and then my obviously my alternates, because 24 and 22. So that's kind of where I'm looking at next year. So far, I haven't seen a sale that I've been like, oh shit, yeah, I want to do that. And part of that isn't because there aren't great ones out there, I'm sure. I think it's because I'm selectively blindering, not looking for them, because again, I'm really trying to focus on every dollar that I spend on a hobby like cross stitching or whatever is a dollar I don't get to put towards my deposit to buy a real house, or to finish remodeling this one so that I can rent it out when I buy my real house. And so I'm really, really trying to be very focused. The other thing is that, you know, I'm not wanting to take on any student loans for this ASL degree. Now I have next semester paid for. and it looks like the grant will come through. So like, even though I paid out of pocket, I'll like the grant money will cover it and I'll get reimbursed. But then I have summer classes to pay for. So what I may just do, instead of putting that back into my budget, just go ahead and pay summer classes with me, because I don't know what grants or things that will be available for me for summer school or for the next fall. So I'm trying to think ahead of things like that. Um, I am carrying a very full load. I did, as of right now, I'm postponing the course I need in order to do my personal trainer certificate. Um, I'm a little frustrated at myself about that, but I'm trying to be very, giving myself some grace and understanding that in the priority of goals, I also have to make it so that I have weekends for long training days. Those are going to be, initially long bike, long run. But it's at some point it's going to kick over so that they're going to be long bike run days, long swim bike days. Because my goal is to still hit Ironman the end of July. And so that was another reason where I really looked at these goals and wanting to participate in wipgo and finding that very motivational. Um, saying 10 days, and 10 days, that could mean one day I put in 5 stitches. That it doesn't matter. It's 5 stitches is a day, and that's what I'm telling myself right now. Actually, I think I've settled on 25. 25 stitches equals one day. So as long as I stitch 25 stitches, I get to count, I get to put a hash mark or a check mark for a day. Um, Again, I'm giving myself a lot of grace, or at least I'm trying to. Does that mean that I'm not going to get frustrated with myself? Okay, we all know me. I will. Does that mean that, like, really, like, I have the Marine Corps emblem on here for 10 days, but my goal ultimately is a finish. And it's a finish sooner than later because it is a gift. I have another big gift on here that actually goes to my coach. Um, it's a 96-page Haid. I have work on it 10 days. My goal is to get much further during the year on that. So, but at the same time, like Coffee Quaker, I'm over halfway done already. So 10 days, I may finish that. Um, or certainly if I use the extra 10 days in that month that it's called, that's 20 days. I'm pretty sure 20 days of solid, like, of good stitchy time, I'm going to be able to finish it. Uh, Maisie May, you can't go outside by yourself, girly. She's so funny. She's such a good girl. Um, and then there's others where it's like, okay, if I make, or the True Color Sal from Stitch Life, honestly, 10 days, I should be able to knock that out. I have it about halfway done anyways. It was not that big. It probably won't even take me 10 days. Um, Penelope is another one. Like, I think I'm about halfway done with her. I don't, like, I think 10 days and I may be able to finish it. Or like in that month, if I use the extra days, I may be able to finish it. So like, there's a good mix. Um, you know, the flip side is given where I am in my pandemic and the fact that I'm doing both the negative and the positive spaces on it, 10 days isn't going to give me a lot. Like, it's not going to give me a page finish. It's not going to, but whatever. It brings me joy to stitch on it. And again, I stitch for the joy of it, not necessarily the finish. Although some finishes I absolutely love. So those are my plans. As far as the whips be gone, again, my goal this next, well, now I think it's like 23 days, is Pikachu and the little Jessie sampler. Little dog, stop eating my pillow. This is what he's done to my pillow. Yeah. So if anybody has any helpful hints on how to get my dog to stop eating everything. Now, in all fairness, Nigel didn't do that. Lizzie did it, but Nigel thinks it's funny. Like, now that's his toy. But poor Lizzie, you know. Um, what was that? Okay, so yeah, so Pikachu, the sampler for the customer, and then to FFO, not only 99, but three small words. I have that all wesh. I have it washed. I don't know what that means. I have it washed, and I just have to iron it. Um, I have the board. I think I'm going to paint it this like vanilla-y color because it's going to sit up here on the green. And then I've got to get the, yeah, I don't know. I suck at FFOing. Like I want to be good at this, but honestly, like it doesn't overly bother me that I have a big basket of finished stitches that aren't FFO'd. It should bother me, but it doesn't really. Like except for the fact that like this is a gift. Three small words I really want up. I love that piece. And I cannot thank you, Janet Jabber, for pushing me to pull that out and do it. Because honestly, out of all of my stitches that I have done, I love most of my stitch. I love them all for different reasons. Some of them I like more than others. Some of them I did them just because I love that piece. I love my changes to it. Like it reeks of me, and I cannot wait to have it on the wall. But I don't just like I just have the long board with like the rope on the top for the handle, and I was going to mount it like on foam core with some batting so it's a little poofy, and then put something behind it. And I was thinking like whatever fabric I'm gonna put at the back of the bookcases once they're all painted. Um, but then what do I put on the top? Because I'm not really a bow girl, and I don't think a bow would go up there right. I don't know. So if you have ideas, I'm always open to ideas. I love ideas. I love you guys. I love your ideas. So that's where we're at. So yeah, and we're back to the pillow. If you don't stop eating my pillow, thank you. That's why he gets to stay. He's a good dog. He's a great dog. But yeah, he's got issues, but don't we all? So with that, I'm going to say goodbye. I am going to I'm going to bike for a little bit. I will probably put on a movie. Um, I did watch all of the 7 Harry Potter movies. The books were better. J.K. Rowling's is still a dumpster fire, so I won't buy any Harry Potter stuff. I'm a Hufflepuff, and I would love to own something with Hufflepuff, but I won't give her any, like, directly or indirectly. I won't. Nope. She's a dumpster fire of a human. That's why I don't shop at certain places either, because their owners are dumpster fires, and I don't want to support that. But on that note, again, if you want a t-shirt, let me know. And then as soon as I have the pattern, like I said, Clay and I are hopefully finalizing it in the next day or two. I will let everybody know because I am really excited. Um, I don't know how to do it where, like, I don't know if I should open a Gumroad where you can just pay what you want, or should I just set an amount like Jennifer did with the Chester's Place pattern and sell it on Etsy and then figure out the Etsy like markup kind of thing, like their charge. Like I don't know how to handle that. So if anybody has any ideas, maybe Bobby or Jennifer, if you're watching this, if you could help me out um and throw some ideas at me, I would really appreciate that. With that, again, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna go bike. And I don't know. I didn't have to take the kid to band tonight. So it's kind of weird. Like normally I would be sitting in school. Um, he had a concert yesterday. It was actually pretty good. The one group I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, it was a jazz concert, and overall it was really good. But the first group was like this improv, weird. I don't know. It wasn't jazz. It wasn't any level of jazz that I am familiar with. In all of my music background, I don't know. And they made my ears bleed. So it's really bad when the first group kind of gives you a migraine because they were that bad. It was that painful. And your ears are kind of bleeding, and then you have to sit through 3 hours. 3 hours. The nice thing is that I sit kind of towards the front in the corner. So I did stitch while I was there. Not gonna lie, I did. Um, so yeah. So fingers crossed by the next time you see me, I will have the Just sampler done, and hopefully a lot of Pikachu done. So with that, happy Hanukkah. We'll talk to you later.